Make sure that I use the right non-TTL version. The traditional speed lights, the settings that you can use for shutters is anywhere between 1/200 to 1/250th of a second. With the introduction of this particular strobe, which is a Flashpoint 600, you can use a shutter speed all the way up to 1/8000th of a second. So that really unleashes and removes so many barriers that you don't have anymore. So you can photograph at very shallow depths of fields in the middle of the day. As you can see, it's much bigger than your traditional speed light that just goes on top of your camera. So the power of the light is so much more. So this is just a light stand that I bought on Amazon. I chose one that was pretty sturdy. With a Flashpoint, if I can go back and do it over again, I would buy what's called a C-stand. A C-stand has legs that are more sturdy, so when you're out in the field, you don't have to worry as much about wind knocking over your...
Oh, has that been a worry a little bit?
Not as of yet, because I stay pretty close to my flash, or I have an assistant that stays close by to the flash to avoid that problem.
Okay. And how much does something like this cost?
The Flashpoint 600, they have bundled packages where you can buy the TTL version, which comes with this transmitter, and the transmitter is required in order to operate this. The bundled package will cost about $750.
Okay, so what you have right there is about $750.
Yeah, about $750. The non-TTL version, which is just simply manual, just the Flashpoint itself will run you about $500.
Okay, and you can sync two of these together because you got two strobes. Yeah,
you can sync, I believe, up to 4.
Okay.
Depending on what type of shooting you're doing.
Okay.
But I have 2 of them.
Okay.
And cool. It's very convenient, because the other important feature about these strobes and this transmitter that's different from your traditional flash that goes on top of the camera is that this transmitter will allow you to control and adjust the settings of the flash right from your camera. So you no longer have to go up to each strobe to adjust the settings. Once you turn it on, everything else is controlled from the camera where you're shooting from.
That's handy.
Adjust the power of the flash, and I'm just gonna go to the extreme. I'm gonna put it at full power, and I'm gonna test it out again. So at full power, it takes about 1 to 3 seconds to refresh.
Okay. And if you drop it down lower power, it goes quite fast.
Yeah, so if I go all the way back to the opposite end at the lowest power, it just refreshes very quickly. This flash, what we're going to do is we are going to position the strobes a certain way, because we're shooting against the sun, and we want to position the strobe so that we can light the person, the subjects up. The previous generation strobes, they're not as portable. They have huge battery packs, wires, and other transmitters that you have to carry along with it. So this is very portable. It's got its own battery pack attached right on the back. The battery packs last at full power up to 350 to 500 shots.
Awesome.
At half power, about 1,000 shots.
I love the fact that this thing also puts out its own light.
It does. In addition to the strobe, this has what's called a modeling light. So you can turn the modeling light on. There's 3 settings: low, medium, and high. This is a continuous light source. It does several things. First, it can be used to light paint your subject. So if you're shooting at night, you can just use a continuous light source for your models, or if you're shooting cars. But second, if you're shooting at night, you can turn this modeling light on, and it can help you focus on the subject before you start shooting. So we did a couple of things. We shot around sunset, where the sun is low to the ground. We set the strobe up in front of Jonas and Mike, so that way we could expose properly for the background. But if we didn't have this flash, then Jonas and Mike, they would be dark. They would be silhouetted. So by positioning the flashes in front of them, we were able to expose the background properly, and we were able to expose for their faces.